finding a doctor just got a lot easier. We're talking to the creator of the Savannah Black Doctors List next. Finding a doctor can be hard. I know it is, especially when you're moving to a new place. Dr. Jamal Lawrence from Harvest Health is here with us this morning to tell us about the Black Doctors List that you created, which has been so helpful, I'm sure, for so many people. Tell me why a list like this is so important to this community.
All right. Thank you, Aria. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So this list is incredibly important because it's very hard for patients to find Black physicians. The Black patient population, or Black people, make up about 13% of the population, but Black physicians only make up about 5% of the physician population. And so when patients are looking for a Black physician, it becomes very difficult. Now in Savannah, there's a majority Black population, but still I had a lot of people come to me and have that concern, like, where do I find a Black doctor? Mm-hmm. And so the list was kind of born out of twofold. My personal experience when I moved to Savannah for training. It was incredibly difficult for me to find mentors, people that looked like me, that could lead me and guide me as a Black medical trainee, and understand where I come from and certain challenges that I might face. And so there was a clinical aspect of that as well. I had an encounter with a young gentleman, about 8 or 9, and when I walked into the exam room, he and his mother kind of smiled and they were very excited to see me. And he said, "I've never seen a Black doctor before in real life." Now this is 2018 in a majority Black city. Yeah. And so it kind of astounded me. You know, I come from, my father was a physician, and I have physician mentors back home, but not locally. And so, you know, those two impetus kind of moved me towards curating this list. And when I became the president of the South Atlantic Medical Association, one of my charges was to increase Black physician visibility. What we understand and know from the studies is that Black people have worse health outcomes due to structural racism, bias, systematic discrimination. But what we also know from studies is that Black people tend to do better when they have Black physicians. It results in increased communication with their physicians. It results in more medical compliance, so people actually get preventative care, they get more cancer screenings. It results in a better experience for the patient. And there's actually a recent study that showed that when you increase to the 10% of Black doctors in that county, patients actually lived longer. Wow. And so, you know, at Harvest Health MD, we focus on personalized care and taking care of patients, marginalized patients in particular, but we have patients of all creeds and kinds. But I can only take care of so many people. Right. And so this list allows other people to find physicians who look like them.
Perfect. So we're going to get a look at the list right now. This actually is just not like primary physicians on this list. Tell me a little bit about who all people can find.
Absolutely. Just want to highlight my colleagues. There are quite a number of us, and like I said, when I was searching, it was incredibly difficult. But when I actually got down to searching all of the hospital websites and tapping into the network, you know, there are local cardiologists, there are nephrologists, there are psychiatry doctors, there are primary care, so that includes pediatrics, that includes obstetrics and gynecology, that includes internal medicine, hospitalists as well. So there actually are quite few and a very wide variety of physicians, but people don't know that if they don't know where to go and where to look.
I've seen lists like this before in like bigger cities and things like that. So when I saw this, I like immediately attached myself to it. In order to get this list, kind of tell people what they need to do to get their hands on it.
So to find this list, you would go to my website, harvesthealthmd.com. In the resources tab at the bottom, there's educational materials. And you click on that and it will bring you to the Black Doctors List, and you can put that website right there directly into your URL browser, and it'll bring you to the list. You just go in there, there's a little blog about the state of Black physicians and why it's important to have that, and at the bottom of the list you click on that link, put in your information, and the list is there.
Awesome. Thank you so much for doing this and putting in the work to like compile all this information, because that takes a lot of time and it's going to help cut out a lot of mess for a lot of people. So we appreciate you for that. And thank you so much for coming on here and telling us about the list and why it's important. So I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So much.
Thanks for having me.
Well, coming up, guys, we're going to tell you about the honor.